Here we are back in the template list, and I've got a little trick to show you here. We want to pick up the templates that I've namespaced for our add-on, which I've called demo pad underscore, and there they are. If you click the prefix control, then it will only match templates that begin with demo pad, but not only that, it will carry that through. So if I hit add template now, it will add that prefix demo pad to your template name. Which is just a very quick time-saving thing. Why have I set that up? Well, because we need to come and create DemoPad edit. And rather than edit in the template editor here, I'm going to go and edit in the main code editor over here. So let's just save that out. And here is DemoPad edit. Now, let's start off with the basics. XF title. Now, at this point, this template is going to be multi-purpose. It's going to be for adding and editing. Adding and editing. So let's have a conditional in here to give a different page title depending on what we're doing. So XF if is equals note.noteID, meaning that we have a note that has a note ID. Then we'll do something and we'll say edit note note title, and if not, if we don't have a note ID, then add new note. And now we'll get down into the actual body of the form itself. So let's have an XF form. I'm sure I've got a shortcut for this somewhere. Apparently not. Oh, there it is. And the link to save it is going to be notes/save. And now, because we have that root format set up, I can specify how to pass the note itself. And I'm going to do that just by adding a second parameter of the note. And the root format is clever enough to know that it needs to take the ID that I specified from this entity and apply it to the URL. So that will produce a URL if there's a note with a valid ID that says note/save/title of the note .note ID. Let's move on. We've got it's a block, and we're using an Ajax form just by default, because why wouldn't you? We're going to use a standard input text for the content because it's just a title, it has a limited length, and then we'll use a text area for the content. Zenfora has built-in functions to generate the HTML for these things, and they look like this. Let's do the title first. XF text box row name equals, and we'll use the title, and it's going to be note title, and the label again, as I've said previously when we were working with templates, you should be using phrases here, but for the sake of expediency, I'm just going to use basic text. There's the title, and then we'll have an XF text area row name equals content, and it's note content, and the label will be your note. And then we've got a couple of other bits here. Auto size means that it will automatically resize your text box according to the content, which is quite a nice little feature, and by default it'll have 5 rows. So that's essentially all we need in terms of editing controls, but we do need a submit button, and yes, you're right, there's already a function for that too. So it's just XF submit row, and then you can see that I've got this set up with the default phrase save, and we might as well use that. And I've added an icon of FA save to that, and that's all we need at this point. So let's save that out and see what we get. So I'm going to take this test action and replace it with add. I can't use edit yet because we don't have any data to work with. But if I hit add, then here's the form that we've just built with the text box row and the text area. Let's add some stuff in here. This is my second note, and then any old thing can go in here, and then let's copy that a few times and I can show you the resizing box. Now that looks fine, so what I'm expecting to happen now is that the save process will skip down through action save, and let's actually do it with the debugger on so we can see it happening. So here we are in action save. Let's mark a breakpoint and hit save. So here we are. Do we have a note ID in our params? Yes, we do. Note ID is, oh no, we don't. No ID. Note ID is 0, so that's going to skip over because of course we're adding one. Here we are. Note is going to be a newly created entity, and then we're going to jump into note save process. We're going to filter the input, and here is the input. We've got title and content. Note that this is lowercase apart from the first letter, and of course that's going to be updated by our entity. Then we have a basic entity save, and we return the form back up to here, and here we are in run, which is an internal function, so I'm not going to spend any time analyzing that one. We'll step out. Now we have saved the entity, and you'll be able to see that if we go into the values, you can see that the title has already been updated to "this is my second note," all in title case. And then I'll just let that continue with the redirect, and we should find, unless the Ajax is timed out, which it has, that it would have redirected. So let's turn off the debugger and do this again. This is the third note, and let's have just that and save. And here we are. We're back on the main index page. Let's take a look in the database. And here we go. There's my second note and my third note. Note that I did manage to accidentally run that action in the test action that I had twice earlier on. But I'm sure you can forgive me that one. Here we are with the second and third notes in the database. So next we need to build something so we can edit them.